Welcome back to Recap Daily. So at the start of the movie we are shown two men. They were basically going in a taxi. One of them was driving the taxi, while the other sat in the back. He was dressed in a suit that was black and red. The name of this man is Deadpool. He is the main character of this movie. He is going somewhere, and he was talking to the taxi driver. He tells him that he has been looking for his enemy for more than a year. I want to search for him soon and finish him. The taxi driver asks him that why are you searching for him? Deadpool replies to take revenge on him. He has ruined my face. He has done many experiments on my body. Deadpool shows him his face while putting off his mask. He says that see yourself. While talking to him when he sees at the back seat his bag of weapons was missing. He says to the taxi driver that shit, I forgot the bag there. Now I just have to use just 2 swords. This time he just had 2 swords. He also had a gun with only 12 bullets. I have to finish him with these weapons. The taxi driver thinks that he is talking weird and funny. He was listening to him quietly. Now Deadpool jumps from the taxi as it crosses the bridge. He begins drawing by moving his legs like a child. He was drawing that how will he finish his enemy. Meanwhile, he sees the cars of his enemy. He immediately goes there and kills his enemy's companion with the bullets of his gun. This scene is interesting. Their cars fell while rolling. Here it is revealed to us that the name of Deadpool's enemy is Francis. He was a huge villain. And he was a bad man. The fact that Deadpool and Francis are fighting becomes well known and widely circulated. This news also broadcasts on the TV. Then we see a giant man in a house. It seems that he is made of steel. That man becomes aggressive while seeing this news. He calls a teenage girl. She has short hair. They go to meet Deadpool in anger. Now here we are told the story of the past. When Deadpool was a normal human. He didn't become Deadpool yet. His name was Wade. He goes to a bar. His friend was also there and there was a fight going on with a giant man with someone. Wade was enjoying after seeing all this. Meanwhile, a girl comes to Wade. Her name was Vanessa. She comes and starts talking with Wade. And she likes him. Now slowly they become friends. They were together for 1 year. But one day Wade gets faints and falls down. After coming to his senses he makes some tests done. He comes to know that there is cancer in his brain, liver, and lungs. Hearing it, he becomes worried. And scared also. Now the scene shifts to the Deadpool. While fighting Francis ran from there. But then their Deadpool hears the voice. Like Francis' wife is following him. When Deadpool sees NBNACK there was Francis. Deadpool stabs his sword in Francis. Francis's nose was bleeding. Deadpool says that today I have taken my revenge. You were the one who made my face like this. With it, Deadpool shows him his face while putting off his mask. Francis says that so you are that person. They were talking meanwhile that Steel Man comes from behind. He picks up Wade and throws him. From here the story shifts into the past. Vanessa was saying to Wade that don't be worried, I will be with you. We will together start its treatment. But Wade says that no Vanessa, I can't see you like this. If something will happen to me, what will you do? I don't want this. Saying this, he comes to a bar from there. He comes and sits with his friend and his friend says to him that here a man is waiting for you for a long time. Go and meet him. When Deadpool goes and meets that man he says to Deadpool that I know you have a disease and you want to cure it. In this, I can help you. But one more thing with it. I can also give you superpowers. But Deadpool says that no, I want to spend life as a normal human. Saying this, he comes from there. From here the scene shifts into the present. That Steel Man was saying to the Deadpool that what's the problem with you? Why are you using your powers wrong? Deadpool says to that Steel Man that doesn't teach me. The person who done wrong with me, I will take revenge from him. Then that teenager says to Deadpool to see the backside. When Deadpool sees the backside, Francis had run from there. Deadpool becomes aggressive with the Steel Man. He starts beating him. If you didn't trap me in your talks he wouldn't run from there. He starts beating the Steel Man. Because he was so hard. Both wrists and a leg of Deadpool breaks. The Steelman says to him that you have made me insane. He hits him hard. Due to it, Deadpool falls at a far distance. Then he ties his wrist with his hand, takes him somewhere. Here Deadpool reacts strangely. Instead of saying him to release his hand, or opening up that lock, he cuts his hand. His hand starts bleeding. If there will be any normal human he would die. But this secret I will also tell you later. That why Deadpool was not dead. After doing this, Deadpool jumps down from the bridge. And he falls in a junk truck. From here the scene again shifts into the past. When Deadpool was a human means Wade. He was faint. When he opens his eyes he was at a place. There were 2 people around him. A male and a female. They inject something into his body. They do many experiments on his body. They torture him a lot. His condition gets worse. Then he was given the electrical shocks. And he was placed in the cold water like ice. Sometimes he was beaten badly. This means all the things from which he feels torture. This was done with Wade to bring some changes to his body. But there is no change in his body yet. They were doing this to bring some mutations to Wade's body. To bring super abilities in him. Now Wade is tied and they lay him down at a place. There was one more patient with him. They were also torturing him. He tells Wade that the name of this doctor is Francis. Now you get it. He is the same Francis whom Deadpool is following. Why is he following him? So hear it. Now Francis again comes to Wade. He throws him in a chamber in which there is no oxygen. Going inside, Wade stops breathing. His body becoming strange. As someone had thrown acid on him. And his skin starts burning. Francis starts talking to him. But Wade was silent. As Francis goes, Wade takes out a matchstick from his mouth. A pipe was connected with his chamber. And it goes towards the cylinder straight. He set that matchstick on fire and throws it there. The pipe holds the fire and that the lab sets on fire. Now Wade comes out of there. He starts attacking Francis. But Francis pushes him. Wade falls down. Because his body was very weak. They fight a lot. But Wade couldn't face him. Francis picks up a rod and stabs it in Wade. On the other side, the lab was burning. Its parts were falling down while burning. Francis runs from there but Wade was still there. Many hours passed. The fire was stopped. But the whole building was changed into ashes. Wade was also under that ash. When he comes out of that ash he was surprised. That why I am not dead yet. The challenge was that he had mutations in his body. And now he possessed a plethora of superpowers. That he can heal any part of his body. He had become immortal. But the bad effect of this was that his body was burned completely as you see before. Wade was worried about Vanessa. That she will be searching for me. And he goes straight to Vanessa. But on the way, everyone was staring at him badly. Like he is looking weird. Because Wade doesn't know that how is he looking. Because he comes here behind Vanessa from there. Meanwhile, Vanessa goes inside that building. And when Wade sees his face in the mirror outside, he becomes sad. He says while seeing his face that Vanessa will never accept me. From there Wade goes to that bar. There was his friend. He says to his friend that see what has happened with my face. Vanessa will never call me. His friend says that what is its solution? Wade says that there is no man in the bar who said that he can make my disease cured. Then his friend says that if that man is not there who said that he can cure your disease. That man is there who can make your face fine. Because he has ruined your face. Search for him. He is considering you dead. He is thinking that you don't have any superpowers. That's why he went from there while leaving you there. You, my brother, do work for yourself. Prepare a mask and suit for yourself. From which he can't judge that it's you and you were alive. After it, you will search for him and attack him. I named you Deadpool. From here Wade is named S. Deadpool. He goes to his house. He prepares a mask for himself with a white cloth. This means from here his journey starts. To search for Francis. Now it's been a year that he was searching for Francis. And when he couldn't search Francis he killed his companions. Now that time comes when he prepares a nice black and red suit for him. Finally, that day comes when Deadpool gets the news that where Francis could be. He meets that man there. The man said to him that he can cure his disease. Deadpool understands that he may be linked with Francis somehow. He asks him in anger that where is Francis? That man gets scared, and he tells him. Now the scene shifts from here we are shown at the starting of the movie. That Deadpool is going somewhere with the taxi driver. Now the past and present scenes merge. And the real story starts from here. Here Deadpool fell into that junk truck. Now Deadpool comes to his senses. Deadpool gets shocked while seeing that where that junk truck stops. Because that was an old lady's house. She comes to him in the laundry. When Deadpool comes to wash clothes. That old lady has given the solution to Deadpool to prepare his suit in red and black color. They become friends. Because that old lady was blind and she couldn't see Wade's face. But here Wade himself tells that old lady. That what happened to him. Here it is also revealed to us that if anybody part of Wade gets dead. It again heals and regrow. These were his superpowers. Means super abilities. He says to that old lady, can I stay here till my hand regrows? But after it, I have to search for Francis. Now we see Francis with that female friend. The female friend with whim he injects something in Wade. Then they go to Wade's friend. They ask him that where is Wade? He says that I don't know. The female friend of Francis sees the picture of Wade and Vanessa. She says to Francis that Francis the first know Vanessa. It is easy for us to reach Wade. When they leave the friend of Wade who was in the bar he calls Wade and tells him everything. Wade becomes worried. He goes to that place where Vanessa works. It was a bar. Going there, he asks everyone that have they seen Vanessa? She is my friend. But when he sees Vanessa, he loses the courage to talk to her, because he was feeling that Vanessa will get scared after seeing his face. He goes into the washroom from there, and meanwhile, someone tells Vanessa that someone is searching for you. Vanessa thinks that Wade is there. She goes outside being excited. Wade wasn't there. Francis and his friend kidnap her. When Deadpool comes out of the washroom while being scared to talk to Vanessa, but he doesn't see Vanessa anywhere. Then he receives a text. It was from Francis. Francis also has a fake name. His fake name was Ajax. He sends the text from this name. He says that if you want Vanessa back, so come to this location. Deadpool goes to his house and takes his all weapons. He takes a steelman and that teenager also with him. He sits in the same taxi in which he was going before. Now they reach the junkyard, the place where Francis has called them. Here Deadpool again forgets his weapons bag in the taxi. Deadpool says that shit, I only have a sword now. Will I fight with the sword? Meanwhile, Francis's companion arrives there. Francis and his friend were standing on the container. Francis sends his friend down. She starts fighting with the teenager. But the teenager was also very sharp. She starts fighting with her. The steel man picks up huge tires and throws them on the companion of Francis. Those were fighting nicely. But when Deadpool sees that his companions stop Francis's companions, getting a chance from it, he goes near Francis. He was on a container. Then Francis and Deadpool fight a lot. Francis's friend pressed the steelman's neck tightly. But when teenager sees this, she throws her all powers towards that girl. There was a huge blast. All the containers start moving there. Vanessa was also in a glass chamber. It also starts falling down. Francis also falls down from the container. When Vanessa's chamber begins to collapse, Deadpool comes to save her. After it, he takes out Vanessa from it. But Francis again comes there and attacks the container. After healing, Deadpool again comes on it. He sits on it. Who said to Francis to give super abilities to Deadpool? After it, those powers dominate him. He hits Francis. Francis's nose and mouth start bleeding. Now Deadpool says to Francis to make his face fine. So Francis starts laughing. You think that I will make your face fine? Deadpool says that so that is the thing. With it, he takes out his small gun and was about to shoot him. Meanwhile, Steelman's voice comes from behind. He says to him that Deadpool, now will you use your power wrong? You are a hero and you can't do this. But Deadpool ignores him. He shoots at Francis's face. The Steelman looks strong and huge from the outside. He was scary from inside. He starts vomiting after seeing this scene. After this, all of Vanessa comes to Deadpool. She starts hitting him with punches, so Deadpool says to her, okay, hit me. I know that you were right. And you should punch me. But I will show you a thing after it, you will not accept me. Vanessa says what's so in it? Deadpool says to her to take off his face mask and you will know it yourself. Vanessa takes off his mask. There was one more inside it. When Vanessa removes it, there was the real face of Deadpool. It was badly burned. After seeing his face, Vanessa says that what's bad in it? Eyes, nose, and mouth, everything is fine. Just a skin issue, and everyone has a skin issue. Not everyone has flawless skin. I will soon become habitual of it. But I will never leave you. They were happy. They again sort out. Here Deadpool Part 1 ends. Now we are starting Part 2. So at the start of Part 2, we see Deadpool. He was sitting sadly in his apartment. He sets his apartment on fire. Because he doesn't want to live anymore. He was committing suicide. Then the scene of the past is shown. That why Deadpool wanted to committed suicide. We are shown a fighting scene. In which Deadpool was fighting with some enemies. They were the bad men. But one of the men runs from there. Deadpool says that I will see him later. At first, I want to meet Vanessa. Because it's been 2 years that they were living together. And he has to wish her. When Deadpool reaches home, that man arrives there who runs during the fight. Here he kills Vanessa. Deadpool becomes sad after seeing this. He goes to that man and crushed him under the truck and kills him. Then he again returns to Vanessa. He says, you were killed because of me, and I will take your revenge. No doubt, I had killed that last man. But I want to finish them all. The people who were bad for him. The people who take others' life without reason. Without any reason, and he misses Vanessa. He tries to commit suicide in many ways. Sometimes he jumps from the building. Sometimes robs stab in him, and sometimes he set himself on fire. But nothing happened to him because he was immortal and he gets irritated from this thing. Now we come to the present when he sets his apartment on fire. Here because the fire is spread in the apartment, so there was a huge explosion. Then he sees Vanessa's vision. That you are doing wrong. This is not your work. With it, Deadpool's body divides into pieces. After some time, Steelman arrives there. He picks up his body parts, puts them in a sack, and takes them with him. Then he joins them. When the body of Deadpool heals, he becomes fine. Now he was sitting on a couch sadly. The Steel Man comes to him then. He says that what are you doing? You are so powerful and huge and this is your family. You will live here with us. There were 2 more girls in that house. A teenager who has short hair and a girl with pink hair. From here the scene shifts on the other side. There we see a huge man. There was something like a laser in his one eye. He has a watch in his hand. When he moves that watch he reaches a place. The 2 men standing there, he asks them which year is this? In which year am I? But before they answer him he killed them and goes from there while taking their car. The scene again shifts there where they 4 were living. This means Deadpool, the Steel Man, that teenager and the pink hair girl. They were calling their team the X-Men team. The teenager was saying to the Steelman that you trust Deadpool. I don't feel that Deadpool is consistent. Because he can't decide anything properly. Sometimes he tries to commit suicide and sometimes he becomes emotional. Deadpool immediately says that don't get worried, I will make myself fine. During the days I spent in this house I learned many things. And we will be a nice X-Men team. Hearing it, they all become happy. The Steel Man appreciates him and says that I am glad that I brought you here. Now the scene changes. To a mutant school. There were some kids who have many abilities. The abilities humans don't have. Those kids were mutants. Now the principal of the school is wearing glasses. He was saying to the kids that I know that you have the abilities. But you will not show them in front of the world. And you have to control your abilities. The principal calls a healthy kid in front on the stage. He starts torturing him in front of all kids. He says to the kids that if you will not control your abilities then the same will happen to you. So that you will learn how to control. Don't know what kind of school it was. Then we see that house where they 4 means the X-Men team was living. The Steel Man comes to the Deadpool and says to him that there is a problem and we have to go to that place. Now the problem was at the outside area of that mutant school. That healthy kid being tortured gets irritated. Coming outside, he has damaged 2 police cars. He has the ability to throw the fire from his hands. The X-Men team also reaches there. They try to stop that kid calmly. But that kid attacks Deadpool and others. After it, the police have put a device on his neck. At that time, Wade means Deadpool notices that there is a mark on his neck. This kid didn't become aggressive without any reason, there would be something wrong to happen to him. Deadpool also attacks the other staff of the school. Due to it, the police also put that device in his neck also. In fact, it was the device that can control the super abilities of anyone. The one who has that device in his neck can't use his superpowers accurately. The big thing is that the device can't put off itself. That healthy kid and Deadpool were both taken to the mutant cell together. Many other people were also there. They also make them wear the suit. Like criminals. Suddenly Wade means Deadpool feels pain. Because when he had his abilities he couldn't feel his disease of cancer. Now there is the device in his neck and he doesn't have his abilities. He was feeling the pain. Because his cancer was developing. Then that healthy kid says that it is our mistake that we don't take a step for ourselves. I have taken a step. But the police ruined everything there. They don't know that the principal of that school is a bad man. He beats me and tortured me. As I will come out of this cell I will kill him. After it, they start eating. Meanwhile, that weird man comes there who was asking about the year from the people. Something is shining in his eye. He points out at that healthy kid. That I want this kid. Deadpool says that I will not let you touch this kid. With it, they start fighting. While fighting Deadpool fell down from the grill. And thank God that device removes from his neck. His abilities were coming back. They again fight. Wade asks that man that what's your problem? Why you want that kid? That man tells his name Cable. He says that first, you tell me that you don't know that kid even then you are saving him. Wade says that because that kid thinks that I will save him. And I don't want to break his hope. Then Wade sees that there is a bomb in Cable's pocket. He explodes that bomb in the building. Wade and Cable both fall outside. Wade was faint outside. Then he sees Vanessa in his dream. She gives him courage and says that these things will make you powerful. Then Wade comes into his senses. Wade goes to that bar and says to his friend that I want to save a kid. His bar friend says that okay, we can save him while making a team. That taxi driver was also there. Now again we see that healthy kid. He was still in that mutant cell. There he becomes the friend of a huge and dangerous mutant. On the other side, Wade makes a team of 6 members. There were 5 boys and a girl in it. They all have different abilities. The girl has the ability to trap anyone while talking. A man was there who can control the electricity. A man has the ability to throw acid from his mouth. A man has the ability to disappear. This means invisible. A man wasn't of this world and hasn't the abilities of this world. A man with a mustache has no abilities. He was kept just for formality. On the other side, we see Cable. He kidnaps the bar friend of Wade. He asks him that tell me where is that mutant kid? And what does Wade wants? Then the bar friend of Wade gets scared. He tells him everything even about the plans of Wade. Now Wade gets the news that they are shifting that mutant kid to another cell. So he has a good chance to save that kid. He flies with his whole team with parachutes and starts following those police cars. In which there was that mutant kid. There was just one girl from that team. The girl with curly hair. She sits inside the police's car. Others also want to go inside that car. But before them, Cable goes inside it and starts fighting with that curly hair girl. Meanwhile, Deadpool also arrives there. He saves his companion. During this, that mutant kid has opened his glass chamber. With it, he also saves that mutant. The mutant who was a giant, and he becomes his friend. When that mutant kid sees Deadpool, he says that, "When it was time to rescue me, you run from there. Now you are here now, he is my good friend," he points out at that giant mutant. After it, that giant mutant divides Deadpool's body into 2 parts. Then that kid leaves while taking that giant mutant with him. After it, the girl with the curly hair comes and she tasks the divided parts of Deadpool with her and leaves from there. Now Wade was taken to the home. That old lady was also there, and here Wade is looking funny. Because his legs were regrowing. Like a baby, he was waiting that when his legs will recover and when he will go to save that kid. Meanwhile, Cable arrives there. He talks to him calmly. He says that let me tell you my all concerns. That why I don't want to save that kid and your thinking is also wrong. That still you are thinking that you want to save that kid. If I will tell you that why I don't want to save that kid. So listen, I have come from the future. I have a small daughter and a wife, and this kid will be a murderer and will kill my family. Still, he is going to kill that school's principal. Don't you think that after it he will be habitual of doing murders? I know that what he will do after growing up. But no, there is a problem why I come here for your help. Because at first he was alone and I can hold him. But now there is a giant mutant with him and I need you. Because you can defeat him. I agree that you are very strong. So Deadpool says that okay, I will come with you, but promise me that going there you will not kill him. You will make him understand with love. Maybe he will understand. There is a deal among them. They leave from there and Wade stops at X1 house. There was that steel man. He calls him but he says that your problems will not be finished, I will not come. There was that girl with curly hair with Deadpool and Cable. But when they arrive, that kid and that giant mutant and that kid have gone inside that school. Going inside, that kid was about to kill the principal. That giant mutant was competing with others outside. But Wade, Cable, and that curly hair girl couldn't defeat that giant mutant. Meanwhile, the steel man arrives. There means he was a good-hearted man. He wants to do help, but he has more self-respect. That is a good thing. Coming there, he starts fighting with that giant mutant, and that girl with the curly hair goes inside the school. To stop that kid. After going inside, she takes all kids out from there. Now Cable and Deadpool come to that kid. The teenager also comes outside with the steel man and they both killed that giant mutant. The kid was about to kill the principal. Seeing it, Cable was about to kill that kid. But Deadpool stops him and says that you said that we will give him a chance to understand. We will give him a chance. Now Deadpool starts making him understand that see if you are killing the principal that he tortured you. After killing him you will also become a murderer and none will like you. Then what will be the difference between you and him? With it, he moves forward to that kid and says that I always wanted to save you. That's why I come here. But that kid doesn't believe in Deadpool. He throws fire and pushes him hard. Due to it, he falls at a far distance, but when Deadpool falls he feels bad. He wears that device again on his neck. He says to that healthy kid that okay, you don't believe me, so I will wear this device on my neck. And if you doubt that I will harm you, so I have worn this device. Now my all abilities are finished. Now I can die, so you kill me. With it, Cable was about to shoot that kid. And he shoots the bullet. But then Deadpool comes in between and the bullet shoots at him. Here that healthy kid immediately comes to Wade while running. He says sorry to him. But it was too late. Now because Wade means Deadpool has the device in his neck so his body parts can't heal. With it, he dies. Before dying, he says to everyone that if I ever made a mistake, so forgive me. I have spent a good time with you. After dying, he reaches for Vanessa. Vanessa hugs him and says that you come early, the world needs you still. Go back to the X-Men team, and their Cable was also feeling sad. That what had he done? He starts moving his watch. Due to it, the time reverse. This was the last chance he had which he spared to meet his wife and daughter. He comes there where the bullet was about to shoot at Deadpool. The bullet shoots at him where there was a coin in his pocket. Luckily, he was saved. Now Deadpool says to Cable that why you waste your last chance for me. Then Cable says that I helped you as you helped me. You stop this kid from murder. This means he will not murder my daughter and my wife in the future. My family is safe now. I will wait here for some time. Then I will go back to my family. They all start going from there. Meanwhile, the school's principal arrives and curses them, as well as blackmailing them. That I will kill you. Meanwhile, the taxi driver arrives there. He says that you will kill us, and with it, he drives his taxi on him. He says that see I killed you. Now, at the end of the film, we see that the teenager and the pink-haired girl have fixed Cable's watch. Later, Wade also uses it to meet Vanessa. With it, this movie ends here. Thank you for watching.